Male brain versus female brain, the science behind our differences. Did you know that male and female brains start developing differently just 6 weeks after conception? And that these differences can explain why your partner might navigate differently than you, or why certain learning styles work better for different people. Today we're diving deep into the science behind these brain differences, separating groundbreaking facts from dangerous fiction. Stay tuned because what you discover will completely change how you understand the human mind. Welcome back to the channel. Today we're exploring one of neuroscience's most fascinating and sometimes controversial topics: the fundamental differences between male and female brains. Before we dive in, let me be crystal clear about something crucial. We're discussing general patterns observed across thousands of scientific studies, not absolute rules that apply to every single person. Every brain is beautifully unique, and individual variation is enormous. You might be a woman who excels at spatial reasoning, or a man with exceptional verbal skills, and that's completely normal. Science is about understanding patterns, not putting people in boxes. With that important disclaimer, let's explore what decades of cutting-edge research reveal about our most complex organ. 1. Structural differences. Let's start with the physical foundation. What actually looks different when we examine male and female brains under advanced imaging technology? On average, male brains are about 10 to 15% larger than female brains, weighing approximately 1.4 kilograms compared to 1.25 kilograms for females. But here's the crucial point that changes everything: size has virtually nothing to do with intelligence or capability. Female brains have significantly higher neuron density, meaning they pack more brain cells into each cubic centimeter of brain tissue. It's like comparing two smartphones. One might be physically larger, but the smaller one could have a more advanced processor that runs faster and more efficiently. Albert Einstein's brain was actually smaller than average, yet he revolutionized our understanding of physics. The corpus callosum, that thick band of nerve fibers connecting the left and right brain hemispheres, tends to be proportionally larger in females relative to overall brain size. This suggests enhanced communication between brain halves, potentially explaining why women often excel at integrating information from multiple sources simultaneously. The hippocampus, crucial for memory formation, is typically larger in females, while the amygdala, associated with emotional processing, tends to be larger in males. These structural differences create the foundation for the cognitive variations we'll explore next. 2. Neuroconnectivity. Here's where neuroscience gets absolutely mind-blowing. Advanced brain imaging techniques reveal dramatically different connectivity patterns between male and female brains. It's like discovering two completely different operating systems running on similar hardware. Female brains demonstrate what scientists call interhemispheric connectivity, stronger connections running left to right across the corpus callosum. This creates a small world network, allowing rapid communication between different brain regions. Imagine a city with excellent public transportation connecting every neighborhood. That's the female brain's connectivity pattern. Male brains show stronger intrahemispheric connectivity, robust front-to-back connections within each individual hemisphere. This creates more specialized, focused networks. Think of it like having two separate, highly efficient factories rather than one interconnected complex. What does this mean practically? These connectivity differences might explain why women often excel at multitasking and rapidly switching between different types of problems, while men might demonstrate superior performance when deep focus and specialized processing are required. But here's what's truly fascinating: these aren't fixed patterns. Brain plasticity means our neural connections constantly reorganize based on experience and learning. A male surgeon performing delicate operations requiring multitasking might develop connectivity patterns more similar to typical female brains. 3. Hormonal influences. Hormones are like the brain's chemical messengers, playing massive roles in creating and maintaining brain differences. This isn't just about behavior. Hormones literally sculpt brain architecture from conception until death. Testosterone, present in higher levels in males, doesn't just influence muscle development. During fetal development, testosterone surges organize brain circuits in ways that persist throughout life. It promotes brain regions associated with spatial reasoning, mathematical processing, and what scientists call systemizing, the drive to understand how systems work. Testosterone also influences neurotransmitter systems, particularly dopamine pathways associated with risk-taking and reward-seeking behavior. This might explain why males statistically engage in more high-risk activities and competitive situations. Estrogen, dominant in females, has equally profound effects. It enhances memory formation, particularly for emotional and social information. During menstrual cycles, estrogen fluctuations actually cause measurable changes in brain structure and function. But here's the complexity: humans produce both hormones, just in different ratios that change throughout life. During pregnancy, women experience estrogen levels 30 to 100 times higher than normal. Men's testosterone levels decline with age, sometimes leading to increased empathy and social sensitivity. 4. Cognitive differences. Now let's explore the cognitive differences that emerge from these structural and hormonal variations. Remember, we're discussing statistical tendencies. Individual variation is enormous, and cultural factors play huge roles. Males, on average, show advantages in spatial rotation tasks, mentally rotating 3D objects. This consistently shows some of psychology's largest gender differences. Men also tend to excel at mathematical reasoning, particularly geometry and physics problems requiring spatial visualization. Navigation abilities often favor males, who typically use geometric cues rather than landmark-based navigation. Females demonstrate superior performance in verbal fluency tasks, rapidly generating words within specific categories. Reading comprehension, spelling accuracy, and written expression typically favor females from elementary school through adulthood. Memory for object locations, faces, and social information shows consistent female advantages. Emotional recognition and empathic accuracy, correctly identifying others' emotional states, strongly favors females across all ages. This extends to nonverbal communication, where women excel at interpreting body language and facial expressions. But here's crucial context: these differences are often smaller than people assume. The overlap between male and female performance is enormous. A randomly selected woman has about a 40 to 45% chance of outperforming a randomly selected man on spatial tasks, despite average male advantages. 5. Emotional processing. One of the most significant differences lies in emotional processing and social cognition. This goes beyond stereotypes. We're talking about fundamental differences in how brains process emotional information. Neuroimaging studies reveal that female brains show greater activation in regions associated with emotional memory formation. When processing emotional stimuli, women's brains demonstrate more widespread activation patterns, integrating emotional information across multiple brain networks simultaneously. Males typically show stronger right amygdala activation to emotional stimuli, while females show more bilateral activation. This difference appears linked to how emotional memories are formed and recalled. Women tend to remember emotional events more vividly and with greater contextual detail. These differences don't mean women are more emotional. Instead, they suggest different processing strategies. Male brains often demonstrate compartmentalization, separating emotional information from analytical processing. This can be advantageous in high-stress situations requiring rapid, objective decision-making. 6. Development and plasticity. Brain differences don't emerge overnight. They develop through complex interactions between genetics, hormones, and environment throughout our entire lifespan. During fetal development, testosterone surges in males permanently organize neural circuits, while female brains actively develop under estrogen influence. Childhood brings different developmental timelines. Girls typically show earlier development in language areas and prefrontal cortex regions responsible for planning and impulse control. Boys' brains often show later but more dramatic development in spatial processing areas. Puberty creates massive brain reorganization through hormonal surges, with cognitive differences often becoming more pronounced during teenage years. But here's the most important point: neuroplasticity continues throughout life. Adult brains constantly rewire themselves based on experience, learning, and practice. 7. Debunking myths. Let's tackle dangerous myths that surround brain gender research. This science has unfortunately been misused to justify discrimination, so we need clarity about what research actually shows. Myth 1: brain differences determine career choices or capabilities. Absolutely false. Individual variation is enormous. Some of history's greatest mathematicians have been women, and some of our most empathetic leaders have been men. Myth 2: these differences are fixed and unchangeable. Wrong. Brain plasticity means neural networks constantly reorganize based on experience. Cultural expectations and educational opportunities shape brain development more than many realize. Myth 3: larger brains mean higher intelligence. Completely debunked. Brain efficiency and connectivity patterns matter far more than size. Understanding brain differences isn't about limiting potential or reinforcing stereotypes, it's about appreciating the incredible diversity of human minds and optimizing how we learn, work, and relate to each other. These insights can revolutionize education, improve relationships, and enhance self-awareness. The most important takeaway? Your brain is uniquely yours, shaped by genetics, experiences, choices, and dreams. Gender is just one factor among thousands that influence how your amazing brain works. Never let anyone use these findings to tell you what you can't do or who you can't become. What surprised you most about these brain differences? Have you noticed any patterns in your own life? Share your thoughts in the comments. I read every single one. If you found this valuable, hit that like button and subscribe for more mind-blowing neuroscience content. Remember, your brain is capable of incredible things, regardless of your gender. Keep learning, keep growing, and keep amazing yourself with what your unique mind can accomplish. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.